my tips for selling a car on Craigslist successfully with the least amount of hassle possible. This is not going to be stuff like how to take pictures and make sure you vacuum out your car. No, this is going to be the stuff that's going to save you the time and the hassle at the DMV later on down the road. Real talk, real world stuff. Let's get right into it. Tip number 1. When you go to sell the car, you need to consider 2 separate events and tasks that need to take place, and they need to be separated. Those are counting the money and writing on the title with any form of ink or alteration on the title. Those 2 things need to be separate, meaning they should not be happening at the same time. They both deserve the independent attention of both parties, buyer and seller, while they take place separately from each other. I'm sure it's pretty much the same in all states, but if you write something in the wrong place or you cross something out on the title, it is a huge hassle to deal with at the DMV. You've got to get a letter. Sometimes it has to be notarized from the seller or the buyer, depending on where the error is and what's crossed off. And you're going to have to be able to prove that you're not committing fraud if there's any sort of scratch out or error or misplaced word written on the title. For that reason, counting the money should be done completely separately from writing on the title. As the seller, here's what I recommend you do. I recommend you look at the title before the meetup even happens, so you know exactly where you need to write as the seller, what lines you need to fill out, and where you and the other party need to sign. That way, when you get there and you're excited because a wad of cash is about to change hands, you're less likely to make a mistake because you already have looked at it and you know what you need to do. I recommend that you, as the seller, ask the buyer for their driver's license and fill out the entire portion of the form except for their signature, including printing their name on the correct line before you even attempt to have them write anything on the title for your car. And when you go to get them to sign the title, you should indicate and instruct them on exactly which line they are supposed to sign on before you hand them a pen and the title, get them to acknowledge that they know what you are intending for them to do and where to do it. Because after you leave with this transaction, especially if it's through Craigslist, optimally, you never want to see this person again. You don't want to have to call them or them call you because the title's not right at the DMV and get some letter signed. You don't want that. Now, naturally, you would only write on the title after the sale has been completed and agreed upon and basically finalized, because this is it. You might think this is a trivial detail, but in essence, writing on the title is the most important part of the entire transaction. So this will be after you have the money. So which brings me to my main point, that counting the money is a separate issue from signing the title. Not, I'll count the money while you fill out the title. All right, so get the money counted at your price that you've agreed upon. Count the money before you even attempt to have anyone put any alterations on the title. That's the point. That's tip number 1. Both parties should be watching while the money is being counted and paying attention, and both parties should be watching when the title is being altered. And that's tip number 1. Stay tuned for tip number 2.
Wait a minute. I'm a reasonable guy, but I've just experienced some very unreasonable things. Wait a minute.